I'm Fatima.
And I'm Sean.
And we are
Powerful Creators.
1, 2, 3 recording. Are you there, Sean?
I'm here, Fatima. How are you?
I'm great and very excited with this third episode of the Powerful Creators podcast, in which, as promised last week, we are bringing our audience participation.
That is super, Fatima. And this audience participation, I think someone had a question for us. Can you please describe that question?
Yes, I'm going to read this. And, just before reading, I just want to say that I love the way we have people from so many countries following us, because that really gives more diversity in the questions, in the doubts, in the sharings. It's really, really wonderful.
It's very exciting, Fatima, to have listeners and
Us?
people participating all over the world. It really is something fun and amazing for me, and I know you as well.
Yes, and the more fun than that is just you and me. We are not in the same country. I think we never introduced that part of us, but I am in Portugal, specifically in Lisbon, in the west side of Europe.
I'm coming to you from Texas in the United States. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so very interesting how our world is becoming a place where people from all over can share ideas and understand more about each other, and that's a beautiful process in itself.
Yes, and how our paths crossed, right?
Exactly, for sure.
So this question comes from someone in Brazil.
Awesome.
And she says, Dear Sean and Fatima, I miss you much. My manifestation process, which has been always very light and deliberate, has been challenged by the pandemic. In Brazil, things are difficult, and this energy has affected me a lot. But just by listening to you, I already feel more connected with who I am. Thank you for always being seeds of light.
Fatima, that's a really beautiful, well crafted question, and I know that we both have some really great feedback for our listener, our valued listener, and thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sure yours as well, Fatima. Let's
Mhm.
dive in and talk about that. The times we're living in are a little bit difficult right now, aren't they?
Yes, and I believe this is not really a question, but we did feel that this is a feeling that have been shared by many people around us, and I have been feeling how can I say this? But I have been feeling very positive all these last months, and sometimes it's hard because I do feel and send energy to especially all the professionals that are really working hard at this time. But for some reason, I keep easily positive, and I do some tools to not be affected by the outside. And I feel you do this too, Sean. And just by speaking with you, this is already a tool that we are using. We speak, I can share this here in the podcast. We speak, let's say, every day. And this wonderful energy that we have is shared between us, is like our logo, in which we have the energy rays that is going from one place and another. We feel this great energy and positive energy going from Portugal, all the way from Portugal to Texas and vice versa. And I do believe this is one of our tools, right, Sean?
Absolutely, Fatima, and it's really amazing our mastermind and how well and how easily we send positive energy back and forth all the way across the world. And one of the things that comes to my mind, and just with what you're saying, is you and I lift each other energetically and in many different ways, and it's important to find those positive people in the world. I would say to our listener who definitely is feeling the situation, definitely find positive people, find people that have a positive outlook, and spend time with those people. Their positive people are amazing, and seek those people out. You'll have a whole lot better time with your thinking, with your outlook, when you're around positive, bubbly people. And something else too is you have to limit the negative inputs. If you watch the news all day long, you're thinking, my gosh, how are we going to even make it till tomorrow? And then a commercial comes on and they say, buy my product. So take it with a grain of salt. Take the news with a grain of salt. It's not as bad as things seem. And I don't want to seem callous or making light of a serious situation. I know lives have been lost, and things have been very difficult for some people. But if you're not in the middle of that, and I always pray for the healthcare professionals and responders that have to deal with that and be very, very close to it. Luckily, most of us are away in a manner that we can have a bit of a normal life, and uh, walking in the park and getting sunshine and exercising and all those things that we normally didn't think about really make us feel better.
Yes, I like the example of the child crying, in which you have two kinds of parents. You have that parent that says, "Oh, poor you, you are crying, oh, poor you." And then what the child does? Cries more. Or you have a parent that tries to encourage the child, "Hey, what happened? Tell me all about." And then the child starts speaking and starts putting outside what she or he's feeling, and it changes. So I feel the same with this situation. If we start, "Oh, poor people, poor," we need to see, we need to share the positivity that we can in each situation, even when it's hard. And I prefer to say, to send healing energy to everybody that needs, and to send love and patience and all the healing that we can to the professionals that are working in this hard field, than saying, "Oh, poor doctors, poor nurses." That is not going to help. And our role is to help allowing well-being in the world. How we are going to do that, being here in my house, confined or isolated? I can do it by sending energy, as we started in the beginning, saying that me and Sean, we are exchanging energy, right?
Exactly, Fatima, and that's so well said. Very beautifully said, in fact. And yes, we do. We should be seeds of light, and as there's more, and we hope that this energy spreads. We want positive energy to go viral, if you will. There's so much negativity that can go viral in the world. We want positive things to go viral, and we want people to connect that maybe would have not connected before, that lift each other. And it's so easy to find negative people. What's more of a challenge is crossing paths with wonderful, positive people. And I think that we should task our listeners, especially in this podcast, to go find a positive person. Let's see if we can elevate each other's energy. What happens on the outside, we have very little control of. What we have on the inside, in our thoughts, in our points of focus, that's what we do have control of. And when you know that you have some control, you have more ease. You're not as concerned when, hey, this is not completely out of my hands. I can control part of this. And that's a wonderful thought and a wonderful feeling.
Yes, I have many questions coming to my mind right now. One of them is, for example, how do I find positive people? And Because that's why we're saying find positive people. And I can hear people saying, how? Right? So
That's right.
one of the things that I would suggest is instead of thinking on, like I was saying, poor people, etc., that's what you are going to attract. Um, Focus yourself on saying, I manifest positive people around me. I manifest people that uplift me when I really need, because we all sometimes need uplifting. I manifest these wonderful people that make me laugh and help me, sending healing energy to everybody. And this way, together in a chain, we are going to build this strong energy that is going to get to people, and that is going to be, like a magic in the air.
Awesome. Fatima, what if we put together an affirmation for manifesting positive people? How do you feel about that? Can I get it started?
Yes, I feel that you are just confirming what I said in the very first episode of this podcast, that you will be all the time challenging me to do, hey, let's do an affirmation for this. So this is exactly you. Now everybody is going to see this is exactly you. Let's do an affirmation.
We're sharing all of our secrets, Fatima.
Yes.
But I'm excited. I'm glad to. Yes,
I
it's
love
time
it.
for a. Hey, me too. Me too. This is wonderful. Okay, so as we go back to our episode one affirmations,
Mhm.
let's get started in an easy and relaxed manner, in a healthy and positive way,
And in
in
its
its
own
own
perfect timing.
perfect timing,
Mhm.
in the highest good of all. I am crossing paths easily and effortlessly with positive people. I know they're positive because I see the smile on their face. I know how positive people want to connect with me. I know they're looking for me and I'm looking for them. I'm going to come out of my shell a little bit and say hello to someone, and I'm going to take some inspired action to find positive people. I might even look on the internet and see uplifting groups. I might go to some sort of virtual event where people are uplifting each other.
I love it. I do love it. I will just
Awesome.
add, how do I feel when I cross lines with positive people? So, for example, I feel so excited with these people. I feel happy. I feel joy. And I feel that everything flows easily, the communication, the conversation, the energy, the feeling is amazing. And I feel that my time is worth, because just having 5 minutes with these positive people, I already feel better for the rest of my day.
Exactly, Fatima. You said that in such a beautiful way. 5 minutes with a positive person melts away 8 hours of negativity. It really, really does. And
Cool.
it's definitely worth your time and effort to seek out positive people. They're not hard to find, and make the effort. Say hello. Uh, Say hi, and it's just that's the beginning. That's the genesis of meeting new people, wouldn't you say, Fatima?
Yes, and I can also add another thing, that is, you might think in the things that you like to do. For example, what are your hobbies? Do you like music? Do you like going for surf, for example? What do you like to do? And try to search groups related to that, because I know now is not a good time to be meeting people. I mean, in person. I know that we have been through some isolation, especially in some places. So I would suggest to search, for example, on Facebook, or around you, on an association near you. Try to search for groups with hobbies or things that you usually like to do. And when you go, feel the energy of manifesting positive people in those areas. And it's going to be even better because, you have topics in common, you have desires in common, and you have positive energy. What else you want, right?
I really like that, Fatima. That's such a great point of focus on the how. Yes, definitely. We get a lot of questions on how do we do that. Those are really great tools on how to do it. If you like art, if you like music, find where people are gathering and talking about art. For in exactly what you mentioned, like surfing, or walking or jogging. Seek out
Hmm.
those groups. And something else that I just thought about as well is use the technology that we have available. For instance, like the video services that help people connect, Zoom or
Hmm.
the other products on other things. Get in front of positive people once you have built your base of people, and it's going to take a little bit of sorting. And what do I mean by sorting? Some people are just not positive. In fact, at least 50% of the people are not positive, maybe more. So it's going to take a little sorting. Don't be frustrated when the very first person you say hello to is not necessarily a gifting person. So don't be afraid to sort, but do find those hobbies and interests and passion. If you're passionate about coding and programming, likely someone else is too. Find the positive, wonderful person that has those that shares those interests. It'll be worth your time. And like you were saying, Fatima, just a little bit of positivity melts away a lot of that negative.
Yes, and that's very interesting that we forgot to mention that we do have on Facebook a mastermind group called Powerful Creators Mastermind. And right now is more in Portuguese language, but everybody is welcomed to get in the group and to connect with more like-minded people, people that want to manifest wonderful things in their lives, universe they have been manifesting already, and they want to read more about laws of the universe. They want to share more successful stories. So everybody is welcome to search on Facebook, Powerful Creators Mastermind. And we speak English also. So it's a wonderful community.
Exactly, Fatima. That's such a great. Thank you for mentioning that. Thank you for reminding me to mention that. Yes, if you want, you can't leave that meeting and not feel completely amazing. I just vibrate with positive energy every time we finish, and it's really wonderful because we literally have people from 3 or 4 continents in
Hmm.
every meeting. Often there's Portuguese and English spoken, so don't let any sort of a language barrier
Yeah.
hold you back. But yes, yeah, if you want to be, that's a great place to start. That's an excellent place to start. So come join us. We'd love to have you at the meeting.
Yes. Sean, I have just one more question that came to my mind,
Sure.
and I believe that someone might think on that. I'm hearing someone saying, um, hey, I have negative people around me. What can I do in this case? And I know that you have a lot to share, Sean, because um, we do struggle sometimes with negative people around us, especially when they are close family or they are like a colleague in the work that we need to deal every day, right?
Sure. Absolutely.
So, one thing that I really want to share as my main response, considering that there are many possible strategies, I will believe that at this point, the main one will be not focusing on that. Because when something, imagine a conversation with that person happens and you just keep that conversation and that thought during all your day in your mind, and you go to sleep thinking about the conversation that you had with that negative person, and the conversation was negative, and suddenly your day is negative and everything in your day is flowing negatively. So try to stop that. We already said in the second episode of the podcast, I believe, some tools to meditate, to stop negative thoughts. So I believe not focusing on that person and that conversation and shifting to another, to the positive side is going to help a lot, as we were speaking in the last episode, right, Sean?
I agree completely, Fatima. That's really great advice. Something along with shifting your thinking from those negative people is to limit the association with those negative people. If you have someone in your office that completely drives you crazy, you don't necessarily have to go chat with them at the water cooler. You can give them more space. You can allow them to be on their journey and not include you and the gravity that attracts people to them. Limit your association with negative news. We all need to know a little bit about what's going on in the world, but we should all usually limit our association and time with those negative inputs, people, TV, computer, things like that. Just be aware.
Yes, and sometimes just sending healing energy to that person, because that person might be in a bad moment, in a bad day, in a bad phase of her life, and maybe she just needs some love from you. And let's just try to see the good perspective of it. You were able to cross lines with that person and to sending her love in a moment that she's needing. So always trying to see the good side of everything.
Planting a seed of light.
Yes.
Exactly, Fatima. Very well said. Because you can.
You deserve.
And you are a powerful creator.